hear what you're saying on Joel Embiid. I'm going to take my NBA analyst hat off and put on my fan J. Will hat. At the beginning of the year, I picked the Philadelphia 76ers to be different. I thought they had a chance to win a chip. I thought Ben Simmons was going to shoot the ball the way he was shooting throughout the summer. I thought Joel Embiid was going to be that player that we saw come into the tunnel, experience that emotion. He was going to transition that into this season being the best player, one of the best players in the league. Just not an all-star, but a beast, just like you have mentioned. But I think that as a fan right now of this team, I'm willing to give both Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid a pass ultimately. The main X factor isn't the question of who has more, Joel Embiid or Ben Simmons, to put on their back. The X factor is Brett Brown, Stephen A. Brett Brown. This is his year. We've been on this show multiple times talking about, I'm tired of talking about what Ben Simmons doesn't do. I'm tired of talking about Joel Embiid being, shooting threes instead of being down low on the block. And how are you going to figure this out? And why is Joel Embiid always trailing the plays? Why does Ben Simmons need to wait for him? And all these, I'm tired of it. You have two all-stars, two incredible players, one player that has LeBron James-like skills to a degree, that is a defensive monster that has the vision like LeBron to a degree. Yes, there's some inefficiencies of his game, but let's talk about the things he does well. You have Joel Embiid that when he does play with that tenacity, that vigor, he is one of the most dominant players there is in the league. His skill set is off the charts. You have Tobias Harris, you paid a lot of money to an Elton Brand in this offseason. And yeah, you do have some question marks from a shooting perspective, but Brett Brown, it's time to go to work, Brett. It is time to go to work. And is it Al Horford and Joel Embiid playing together? It's time to figure it out. Is it holding Ben Simmons' feet to the fire, shoot the ball 4 to 5 times a game, and make him own that? It's time to go to work, Brett. So I'm just tired of talking about what Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons don't do. I want to start talking about what Brett Brown needs to make them do in order to get this Philly team to a chance where they can actually take advantage of the skill they have and they can reach they can reach and optimize their value that they have. That's the time I think it's time to take this conversation towards SA. That's where I'm at right now as a fan.
Based on watching and listening to you guys is valid, but it's Ben Simmons. There's no doubt about it, no question. Ben Simmons is the facilitator. The facilitator
coming off an injury, Swagoo? Coming off an injury?
And still, Jay Will, we talking about playoffs. Like, who's gonna give him that pass? Who's going to give Ben Simmons that pass about coming off an injury in this situation? They were terrible on the road, good at home. Ben Simmons, both of you guys just talked about Ben Simmons won't shoot. Ben Simmons won't do this, won't do that. Ben Simmons needs to figure out that he needs to be the most important part to what the Philadelphia 76ers success is going to be. Look, we know what Joel Embiid is. When Joel Embiid is balling, he's arguably the best player on the court majority of the time. But if you ask me who is more important to their success, it's Simmons, because he has to do more. He has to not only facilitate, he has to add and increase his usage offensively. That is the issue. I've heard you guys talk about this on show after show after show. Ben Simmons needs to shoot the basketball. Ben Simmons needs to become more of an offensive presence. I don't understand what's lacking here. So when I talk about, when we have a conversation about most important, and I relate it to football as well, if you play the top level of your game, and if you have an ingredient that you can add that you're choosing not to use, possibly, and I'm making reference to Ben Simmons shooting the basketball more than 2 times a game, then you become the most vital part to that team's success because you do everything else.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.